I'm Dr. Richard St. Cyr. I'm a family doctor for 24 years. And I work at Teladoc, virtual primary care online. And my social media group asked me to maybe look into something called the carnivore diet and give my thoughts about it. So carnivore diet is a more intense version of a keto diet. It's a zero carb diet. So it's carnivore, it's just eating meat. So literally the diet is eating only meat, good cuts of meat, not processed meats. That's just one of the goals. And one of the other major things about the carnivore diet is no carbs, which literally means no carbs, no grains, no fruits, vegetables, literally just the meat, eggs, dairy, some dairy. So it's pretty intense. I didn't really know anything about the data because I haven't researched it. It's been trendy recently. And so I did what they call a PubMed research review and looking for just studies. And there's literally zero good quality placebo-controlled following studies comparing carnivore diet to any other diet, or more importantly, comparing it to death rates or heart disease. So it just isn't data out there. So, which for me as a family doctor really makes me not recommend it to anyone in the first place at all, when there's so much evidence for other things. But the only study I found that was even semi-good, which is what some of the carnivore diets mention, is this 2021 study from Harvard, a survey of people on the carnivore diet for 14 months. A survey automatically isn't a really good study. But the only interesting thing for me, part of that, was the objective data, the lab tests they uploaded. The one that actually concerned me was something called the coronary calcium score. Coronary calcium score is a really good, it's like a mini CT of your heart, and it literally looks for little plaques in your arteries and gives you a score. And the score is really predictive of future heart disease, even better than LDL, CRP, all those types of things. So it's a really good test. I like it a lot. And the concerning thing about this study is the people that switched or did more of the carnivore diet over the 14 months, their CAC score were higher. And the data is really clear that higher CAC score causes more heart disease and more deaths. So just from that could be concerning. There is actually a lot of research on meat, of course, from other studies where meat's part of your diet. It's not just 100%. And those studies show that certainly the processed meats, that's the big thing we really don't want to do. So unfortunately, it's the stuff that's really yummy. It's the bacons and the sausages and processed things, all the deli meats. There's really strong evidence many, many times that it increases cancer. It's actually a type 1 carcinogen, just on the level of asbestos and alcohol, by the way. If you didn't know that, it's kind of interesting. Processed meats are really bad. So the carnivore diet, to eliminate that, is actually pretty good. But the data is pretty clear in other studies. There's this 25-year prospective study showing people that went to carnivore diet or more low-carb, meat-based, they gained mortality. They had higher death rate. So, which brings me to the other big thing about the carnivore diet that I really don't like at all. It minimizes the number one thing that does have evidence. There's no plant-based whole foods in your diet on a carnivore diet. And that's like the number one data in terms of helping you to live longer and healthier. So I really don't like it all. In fact, the same prospective study showed that when the middle carb people switch to more plant-based whole foods, you live longer and better. So that is overwhelming data from many studies that that type of switch is better. So there's proof that switching to something like a carnivore diet is just worse for you. So I really just can't recommend it to anybody. So I hope these influencers on TikTok and other things can really maybe look into the data better in terms of anecdotally. I know they feel better on it, especially if you're allergic to something you eliminated in your diet, or if you eliminated bad things like processed carbs, sodas, alcohol. Great, those are good things. But plant-based whole foods diet is the same thing without the saturated fats and things in the meat-based stuff. I'm not vegan or vegetarian, by the way. I just try to promote things that help people live longer and not live shorter, like maybe something like the carnivore diet. So I hope these influencers and others can sort of review things, step back a little bit, and really be enthusiastic about more plant-based whole foods videos and things. That would be great. That's just my take on it, but I definitely personally don't recommend the carnivore diet at all.